communities. The Pondoland areas, including Bizana, Lusikisiki and Port St. John's, have been on the news for some gruesome murders of women and children. Today, the presidents will be interacting with the locals to find the root causes of these problems and try to come up with solutions. Our reporter Zimkhita Manqinana joins us now from Lusikisiki. Good morning, Zimkhita, and give us a quick update as to what's happening there.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to Lusikisiki. Well, we're coming to you live from the new Lusikisiki police station that was opened a few days ago. This police station is meant to change the situation of the people of this area. If I can just give you a brief background about Lusikisiki and the effects of crime in this area. A few years ago, we saw a series of criminal activities, mostly practiced by young men against women, and where they were abducting children under the false pretense of the custom of ukutwala. That problem triggered the former Minister of Health, Chabalala Msimang, to visit this area, to interact with the community members and to try to bring a solution, and that resulted to the decrease of those incidents. Few years later, another group of young men formed gangs and were involved in gruesome murders of elderly women and children under a pretense again that they were involved in witchcraft. We saw a number of women being killed in their own homes, their bodies hacked, they were stabbed and killed in a very, very horrendous manner. That also triggered the MEC, or former MEC of Social Development, Pemi Matodina, to constantly visit this area to ensure that there is peace and harmony in this community. Yet again, Lusikisiki is making the headlines for all the wrong reasons. This time around, a group of young men are involved in criminal activities where they are killing women in a vampire style, formed as a group of that is called Amavondo. That is the reason why the president of the country committed in parliament recently that he'll be visiting this area to try and talk to the residents of this area and see how these problems can be resolved. But now we're going to speak to a local resident, Elizabeth Swartz, who is one of the people who are constantly affected whenever there is crime in this area. Elizabeth, good morning and welcome to Morning Live. Just tell us, the current situation now, you are facing the issue of Amavondo. Where does this put you as residents of Lusikisiki?
We are terrorized every day and we are scared. We have to close our doors about 5 o'clock in the evenings because of it, especially the women and the children. You can't even walk outside in the dark or anything like that. It's fearful.
What are you doing as community members to try and assist the police? Because the police are saying that they are doing what they can. And are they doing what they can to assist you as members of the community?
The police are doing what they can, but they don't have any resources. Like at the moment, we only have 3 vehicles, police vans in Lusikisiki, and they're short of staff as well. That is the police. We need more policemen around this area. And as the community, we found CPF members in the localities to try and intervene, which work hand in hand with the police and with the Department of Safety to try and combat crime. But we have a problem with the CPF as well, because it's an unwanted pregnancy and an unwanted baby, because nobody is responsible for it. We don't get any incentive, we don't get transport allowance, we don't get any airtime, and those are the things that we need to be able to work.
What can you say is the result of, because we've seen a number of a group of people taking the law into their own hands. What triggers those incidents?
Okay. The problem with that is that when the accused appears in court, they are sometimes released because maybe it's insufficient evidence, or maybe the statement has not been captured in a proper way. So then the person gets released. Or in some instances, because as you said, this is the youth which commits those crimes, so they are released. But since we don't have juvenile facilities, then they go back to do the same thing. So then the people decide that they'd rather take the law into their own hands. And the worst thing is that they are given, any accused member, when they get to court, they are given rights, they are given a free lawyer, but the victim is given nothing, so they are not protected, they feel left out. So we feel that the Constitution of South Africa should be revisited and see if does it cover everyone or it just looks at one side.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. While this a local resident from the area of Lusikisiki was telling us about the pain that they experience through the criminal activities that constantly take place in this area of Lusikisiki. Well, later when we come back to you, you'll be joined by the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Mr. Phumulo Moswale, who's going to talk us about the interventions that they're bringing forward as government to try and assist the people of this area.
And that was our reporter Zimkhita Manqinana coming to us live from Lusikisiki. Well, that is all from the news desk for the moment. Phil is ready with your weather.